This is the High School Crossfire. Welcome back.
This House shall increase the tax rate in the agriculture sector. First of all, I would like to tell them that I would like to inform Team Negative that the agriculture sector is the sector with the most tax exemptions in the country. Then, Pano, is it possible that a person in Uganda who earns than 10 million in the agriculture sector is non-taxed? We look at Madivani, which is earning 11.2 trillion a year, but the people that sacrifice that land where their factories are built are living or sleeping on empty stomachs. I don't know if Team Negative find that okay. Then they come and tell us that instead of increasing the tax rate, that instead they are going to provide support. The agriculture sector is given 2.2 trillion per year according to the national budget. And then also what I wonder is whether they know about the parish development model which is in place. We have seen people who are giving us good results. We have seen the Emyoga program, which is based on agriculture. They come and ask us how the agriculture sector is going to sustain being an income. I don't know if they did any research, but according to tradingeconomic.com, the agriculture sector in Uganda contributes 80% of Uganda's export income. This alone proves that agriculture is indeed the backbone of Uganda. Rejected. Leave alone that the agriculture sector employs the highest percentage of Uganda's population, which is 70%. This is according to Observer. So, agreed.
Honorable, can poor quality goods compete with good quality goods in the world market?
In case you don't know that, Uganda is one of the big contributors of coffee in the country, so I don't know what you're saying. And then if you're telling us that saga of what happened to Uganda's products being rejected in Kenya, I don't know if you know, but actually after that they accepted and we improved the qualities. So, because when a person sees a problem, they work to make sure that they improve on it. So I don't think rejected. I don't think when our quality is rejected, we just let them go, but instead we made them better. Then I want you to tell me if rejected. I want you to tell me if it is fair enough for a person who earns 10 million to only pay 40,000 shillings. What are we? We don't want Uganda to be a bad investor. This is our land. This is our fertile soil. This is our land, our motherland. So if we are not, if rejected, if we cannot get from our own land, where shall we go? Pano, this is not a time for us to go begging. First of all, we know that the World Bank has stopped funding us, which was contributing 2/3 of the Uganda's economy. So if we cannot get from what we have already, we are not going to keep being like those Karamoja kids who are always on street asking, Chikumi, Chikumi. We are not going to keep pleading to external countries. Instead, we are going to work hard with what we have to make sure that we get better, we become better. And then also we are using URI. They might come here and tell us corruption. But in case you didn't listen to my first speaker, she mentioned that last year URI was sent out to collect 7.45 trillion, but instead what did they collect? They collected 4.47 trillion, meaning that instead of collecting, actually they added more. So I don't know what you're saying. And then also I want to for you to keep in your mind as I live that the agriculture sector is one of the sectors that has the most exemptions. So if that is not support enough, and if the 2.2 trillion we are giving them is not support enough, how much do you want us to give them? You come here, but you don't even tell us that. So, Pano, with this, I believe that increasing the tax rate in the agriculture sector is the best solution. Thank you.
Pano, the major problem of team proposition in this debate is that they are claiming that the people in agriculture sector are actually earning very high, earning a lot, and yet they are contributing less to the economy. Pano, I want us to understand that agriculture is a developing sector, my dear judges. What do I mean by this, my dear judges? Agriculture has very many exemptions, and high income earners are contributing less to tax, my dear judges, because agriculture is a developing sector. Is that when we tax high, these, my dear judges, these people, and yet their goods are still of low quality, my dear judges, it means that they are not going to be able, my dear judges, to produce their goods, my dear judges, very well, my dear judges, because they are still developing. The level of value addition in Uganda, my dear judges, is very low. And these farmers, my dear judges, they are committing there is a tax exemption, my dear judges, because these farmers are still developing. My dear judges, now we have a problem with the case of team proposition 1. There is going to be economic inflation. What do I mean by economic inflation? That when you increase the taxes on the products, my dear judges, this is with common knowledge that the price of goods in the country is going to develop, is going to increase, my dear judges. Now I want to question team proposition is that can the people in Uganda buy the products that are going to be taxed high, my dear judges? They talked of price legislation, my dear judges. Now when we talk of price legislation, we know what happened when the vanilla saga, my dear judges, was in Uganda. The cost at which Uganda put the vanilla, my dear judges, was not creating was not allowing these farmers, my dear judges, to get enough income, my dear, which means that the government itself cannot do with price legislation, because the farmers are the one who understand, my dear judges, how they can do with my dear judges. Another problem, my dear judges, is the weak taxation system in team proposition. Now they're talking that they're going to use the URA and the current anti-corruption bodies, my dear judges. But now, how different are they going to do it? Because the anti-corruption bodies have clearly existed, but team proposition does not clearly tell us how they are going to do it differently, my dear judges. And I want team proposition to come here and substantiate how this increase in the tax rate in agriculture is going to increase the economy, because they claim that they want to increase the tax rate, but let them substantiate how an increase in the tax rate, this 10% increase, how much tax will it increase on the current revenue that is being earned, and how is it going to lead to the developing of the country, my dear judges? We believe that when the taxes, my dear judges, in agriculture are increased, my dear judges, the farmers who are less income, my dear judges, they're going to do away from agriculture, because we believe that currently these taxes are still even high for the farmers. Now if we increase these taxes, my dear judges, are they going to be sustainable? Building more in our case, my dear judges, we talked of value addition, my dear judges, whereby we are going to find the sector more, my dear judges. Now when we find the sector, my judge, according to a presidential speech last year, 2022, President Museveni said that per kilogram of coffee we export in Uganda, we export it at $2.3, my dear judges. But then when we take it outside, after value addition, they sell it at $25, my dear judge. What do we mean, my dear judge? We are missing out on $23 now, my dear judge. So which means that if we do with value addition, that even when we do not increase the tax of these products, that at 10%, if we are earning 1,000 shillings from 10,000 shillings, if we increase the value of these products to 100,000 shillings, that we are going to see that there will be an increase on 10,000 shillings on a tax rate, without even causing an economic inflation in the country or causing a problem to the farmers, my dear. Are you seeing how tax revenue is going to increase without even tampering with the taxes in agriculture? Because we believe that agriculture itself, now the taxes are high, and if we increase the taxes more, my dear judges, can agriculture sustain the high taxes, my dear judges? Continuing on my case, my dear judges, team proposition, my dear judges, came and told us, my dear judges, that they are going to increase the taxes. But I want to clarify this, that the products in Uganda currently are of poor quality. So I wonder how they are going to compete on the world market if they will be sold at a high price. Because if you increase taxes, automatically the farmers will increase the price of these products. And on the world market, we will usually compete when we still have products of poor quality, my dear judges. Team proposition, please come and clarify on that, my dear judges. I remain Kanabi Jonathan for God and my country. I beg to submit.
This is the High School Crossfire. We'll be back in a minute.